There are lepers everywhere today. In fact, in one way, we're all lepers. We should all carry a bell around with us. We have all got the potential to be unclean. We have all got the potential to have COVID. And we're all told to stay apart, to stay away from each other. We're told not to come out of the house, only if we have to, and if we do, not to interact with anybody else. We can't come together. You can't come here to the church. And it's the way it must be, but it's a terrible way to be. It's awful. And we should never ignore the pain of our existence at this time. We should never get used to it. Yes, there are no colds and no tummy bugs. And that happens when we all stay apart. But what else have we lost? You see, today we see everybody as a threat to our health. Everybody else's existence is a danger to my existence. And while we need to be cautious now, this can never become normal. We can't live forever afraid of each other. That's not part of the plan of God. Jesus didn't come into the world to separate us and keep us apart. Jesus came into the world to bring us together, to integrate us so that we can live together in fraternity and unity. And in the gospel today, we witness the depth of Jesus' desire to bring people together, to give them belonging, to accept them. The person in the gospel had leprosy, and as we know from the first reading, people with leprosy had to stay apart. They were to be feared. They had to announce their coming with a bell so that people could run away. Nobody wanted to touch them in case they would get leprosy too. It was so contagious. Then this person broke the rules. He approached another human being. He approached Jesus. And in desperation, he fell on his knees before him and he pleaded. And he didn't say, "Cure me," but he said, "I know if you want, you can cure me." And Jesus' response reveals his desire. He says, "Of course I want to be cured." But there was more to it than that. Jesus' word alone could have cured that person. However, along with his word, he did the unthinkable. He reached out his hand and he touched the man. He touched a man with leprosy. And when this pandemic is over, and it will be over, we have to touch each other again. Maybe this time when we're not able to touch each other is a time to reflect on the power of touch and on its necessity. What do we communicate when we touch another person? And touch can be life-giving, as it was in the gospel today, or it can be devastating. The touch of violence destroys life. The touch of abuse violates the sacred. The touch of arrogance belittles the humble. We have to be so careful about what our touch communicates. And no human being is first and foremost a leper. And no human being is first and foremost a COVID carrier. Every human being is first and foremost a beautiful, but more than that, a sacred child of God, made in the image and likeness of God. Therefore, every human being deserves the touch of love and the touch of profound respect. And any touch that does not communicate pure love and deep respect is a violation of the sacred. And there are so many examples of this in our world today, and maybe in our own lives, and tragically in many homes. Every human being, no matter who they are or what they have done or failed to do, deserves the human touch of another that reveals to them that they are loved and respected. And in this time, when it is not possible to touch, we need to allow ourselves to feel the pain of what we have lost. And we need to commit ourselves, when the time is right, to break down barriers of fear and lack of confidence and reach out and touch another and reveal to them the sacred touch of a handshake or a hug or whatever, the sacred touch that communicates that they are a child of God. And every child of God has the right to be united and integrated, living in fraternity and unity and sharing in the life of the one who created them.